Hey guys, welcome back to SunshinehazeCo. I am Aja A. It feels like I haven't been in here for a while, but I also feel like I just put up hella videos. I don't know. I feel like if I'm not uploading something every day, it feels like forever. But I'm back. Low battery. I'm back, and today's video is going to be on tomorrow's full moon in Pisces. So before I get started, very quickly, just to give you guys a little bit of background into what a full moon is, it's when the moon is opposite the sun. The side of the moon that is facing us is actually illuminated. So when we're talking about the energy as far as the full moon is concerned, we're looking at illumination, obviously clarity, release, and also I don't like to use the full moons for manifestation or doing actual manifestation work, but I consider the full moon the point in the lunar cycle where you need to start excuse me, it's the beginning of the end, right? So this is the point to where you need to start doing the work that is going to help you clear out whatever is needed to be cleared out in order for you to get prepared for the next cycle that comes along, okay? This time around, the full moon is going to be in the sign of the fishies, which is Pisces. And Pisces is the two fish with the tails tied together, and they're swimming off in different directions. Okay, so if you didn't know what Pisces is, that's Pisces. I did already mention that the full moon is going to be tomorrow. It is going to be at 7:55 p.m. Yes, 7:55 p.m. That's Eastern Standard Time. And it's going to be in 28 degrees, which I will talk about a little bit later on in the video in like a few minutes, because I don't want to make this a super long video. So before I get started speaking specifically to the energy of Pisces, this Pisces full moon, I don't know why this always happens. It's like my voice is good until I decide I want to sit down and record a video. But anyways, so this full moon is coming at the end of the summer season. Pisces is mutable, so it is wrapping up. This full moon is wrapping up a season. Pisces is the mutable spring sign. I'm sorry, the mutable winter sign. It is the mutable water sign. Mutable energy typically, as I said, wraps up a season. So when we're dealing with mutable energy, it's that energy of finishing things up and carrying things through to the finish, okay? So we are dealing here with the mutable summer energy. So we're wrapping up a cycle of wrapping up a cycle where we had the Lion's Gate open, where we also had 2 Aquarius full moons, and we got, excuse me, 2 Aquarius full moons and a bunch of other cosmic stuff happening. But this was a pretty intense, a pretty important cycle. While a lot of us may not have seen a lot of things happening in the physical, understand that the work that you were doing was definitely helping you manifest the intentions that you've put forward for yourself, okay? So this Pisces water mutable full moon is wrapping up this intense cycle of, you know, manifestation and intention, and it's preparing us for the season of change. That was a mouthful, but yeah, that's one of the main things that we are dealing with, or that we're going to be having coming in with this Pisces energy. Now, Pisces, generally speaking, as I mentioned, is a little too fishies. Excuse me. Pisces is ruled by Neptune. So Pisces energy is very spiritual. It's very intuitive. Pisces is a very passionate, very sensual sign, a very emotional sign. It's sensitive. It is a water sign, okay? And Pisces is also known for being very creative and very artistic. So there are a few points that I want to speak to as far as the energy goes for us over these next couple of weeks. And when we are talking about a full moon cycle, the most intense part, I like to say, is the shadow period. And then you have the cycle of the full moon to the new moon. You also have the cycle of the full moon to the new moon in that sign. And then you also have the cycle of the full moon all the way to the next full moon. So what I would definitely, I like to do this myself, and what I suggest to people is, especially if you keep a new moon journal, which I'm actually going to do this when I do my new moon intentions tonight. If you keep a new moon journal, flip back and look at what you wrote for your Pisces new moon intentions, and kind of reflect and you know, see what's happened, see what hasn't happened, see what's playing out currently, see what's coming in. And if you feel like you need to revisit some of those intentions, revisit them and work with them to where you can release what's needed to be released during this lunar cycle, so that during this Virgo lunar cycle with this Pisces full moon, so that when you roll into whatever point of the cycle you're supposed to roll into, you're able to manifest the intentions that you originally placed with the Pisces new moon back in, that would have been, I think that was March, back in March sometime, March or February, I want to say March. Okay, so Speaking specifically to this Pisces energy, one of the main points that I have here is turning dreams to reality. I did mention that Pisces is ruled by Neptune. So when I say that, I am speaking literally, and I'm also speaking figuratively, kind of, sort of. So Neptune rules the dream space. Neptune also rules like the ethers. So when we're speaking to turning our dreams into reality, I am saying pay attention to your dreams over this full moon cycle. For those of you guys who are able to remember your dreams, and I go back and forth in and out of this, sometimes I can remember my dreams very vividly, and I keep a dream notebook in one of the little shelves on my nightstand, and I actually have dream dictionaries under there too. Yeah, I do not play because I believe that we get messages in our dreams, and that we're also able to figure things out in our dreams and grow and progress spiritually in our dreams, right? So pay attention to the dreams that you are having over the next couple of weeks, especially during the shadow period, which would be a few days before and a few days after the full moon. Pay attention to these dreams. If you can remember your dreams, write them down, interpret them, and apply them to your life, or just, take it for whatever message was supposed to be coming to you. If you can't remember your dreams, I would not be surprised if a lot of you over the next week or so, when you wake up, you're still feeling extremely tired. And that, I will say, can attribute to while you're sleeping, especially with this Pisces lunar energy and all these Neptunian aspects that we have going on right now. You probably doing some work in the ethers. Like, this is definitely a time where the veil is thinner than normal. And with all of the Neptunian influence, I would not be surprised if y'all's little higher selves were up in your dream spaces and the ethers actually doing work. So when you wake up, probably over the next week, especially around the shadow period, when you're waking up, you might feel like very exhausted. You might be like, I slept for 8 hours and I feel like I need to sleep for another 8 more. And nothing is wrong with you. Pisces influence, you're probably doing work in your dream space, doing work in the ethers. And honestly, I have gotten to a point to now where I'm just like, whatever. Sometimes I remember my dreams, and the ones that I remember, I'm able to interpret. And the ones that I don't remember, when I know I wake up feeling tired like that and I put myself into the bed, I'm like, okay, well, girl, you was obviously doing something somewhere with somebody in somebody's ether space. And I've had friends hit me like a couple days later and be like, hey, you were in my dream. And I'm always laughing. I'm like, of course I was in your dream. That's why I was so tired when I woke up. What were we doing? Oh, I don't remember. Yeah, of course we don't remember, because we were wilding. Who knows? Now, speaking to dreams in the physical, turning dreams into reality, or getting your dreams to manifest in the physical. I don't know why that was such a mouthful for me, but there, with this full moon energy, the full moon illuminates things for us. So the path to your dreams are going to be more so illuminated during this lunar cycle. And with this Pisces Neptunian spiritual intuitive influence, it may even seem like you are getting opportunities, or somehow putting yourself in spaces and places that you're like, I don't even know how I got here. Putting yourself into spaces and places that actually put you in alignment with these dreams that you were trying to make, or that you want to make come true, that you will make come true. Let's be intentional in the way that we speak, right? Speak it into existence. Another energy that we're going to be dealing with, or that we're going to have, that's going to be very prominent with this full moon, is a bit of an emotional reset. Now, I spoke earlier about Pisces being the two fishies with the tails tied together that swim in opposite directions. And when you get a little bit deeper into that, it's Pisces has all of these passions. Pisces is water, so Pisces swims to where its heartstrings are pulling it, or however that applies to fish. Pisces swims to wherever they feel they need to be in the moment. However, it's connected they're connected at the tail. So there's a little bit of a tension, a little bit of a sometimes I gotta go this way, sometimes I gotta go that way, whatever may be the case. However, here with this water energy, what's going to be happening over the next couple of weeks, probably over the next month until we come into the next lunar cycle, the Libra lunar cycle, is feeling like you are shedding a skin, almost. Feeling like you're shedding a skin and being cleansed. And you might feel like you're starting to feel detached from certain things, certain people, certain places, certain hobbies or habits that you used to be really into, that you used to, ride or die for. You might be coming into spaces now to where you're like, I'm not really feeling that. And what is happening is your higher self, your spirit, your soul, again, remember we're dealing with Neptune influence here, is really calling to you to say, hey, you're not in alignment with this anymore, and there are other things that you are in alignment with, so you need to drop the dead weight here, swim away from this, and swim into the other things that you are passionate about. And while You may not necessarily know what that is, and while you may also be in a space to where you're like, but I have so many passions, this is a water full moon, so go with your feelings. Allow life's currents to pull you to wherever it is that you need to be currently, okay? Life's currents and currently. I should have used different words in that sentence. Another thing with Pisces, and this happens anytime that we have, my nose is itching. My Grammy says, when your nose is itching, somebody wants to kiss you. Another thing that we typically always have with Pisces energy is this pull to our passion projects. So over the next couple of weeks, probably very prominent around the full moon time, I would not be surprised if you break out old projects, like old pieces, I'm a writer and I also sing, so I've been pulling out like my lyric books and some of my old scripts. I had a meeting the other day and the conversation led into me pulling out some old folders with full of scripts. And so now I've been spending the last few days kind of revisiting them. And while I do say don't necessarily use the moon to manifest the things that you want to see play out, circling back around to it and kind of looking at, okay, I don't need this part in this script anymore, I need to look at this and I need to do that, comes in with that clarity, that illumination on what needs to be done as far as my passion projects go. So when it is time to actually put these things in motion, I have already cleared out what needs to be cleared out. Okay, so you're revisiting your things, and also, you know, look at how your chart is set up. Spirituality and the way that you use astrology is different for each person because each person has different energies depending on their natal placement. So while I should not be manifesting during the full moon, some people find that the full moon is a great time for them to manifest. For the life of me, I can't figure. I'm like, I don't see how that works, but it works for somebody. However, you might find yourself circling around to things. I'm not going to do too much as far as these things go, but I am definitely going to be looking at them and reigniting the sparks to my passions, okay? There are a couple of aspects that are coming through with this full moon that are going to be shifting the energy for us a little bit. We've got a couple of minor aspects actually to the moon, which is the moon will be conjunct Neptune. And so that energy is very similar. They work together. And so I do want to say that with typically any interaction with Neptune, you can kind of feel like you're floating or kind of feel like you're kind of, just like I said earlier, like being pulled by life's currents to wherever it is that I just kicked over a whole bunch of paint. Being pulled by life's currents, taking you to where it is that you need to be. So with that being said, if you kind of feel like you are like lost at sea, try not to become too overwhelmed by the feeling of I don't know what is going on, but put yourself in a space of, okay, this is different, let's see where it takes me. All right. Another aspect is that it's going to be opposite Mars, I believe Mars will be in Libra. Believe Mars is in Libra now. So with these two energies, you're going to be feeling the need to change and start shifting and start moving things and start doing the full moon work that needs to be done during the full moon portion of the lunar cycle. However, with it opposite Libra, you may definitely be in a position to where you're really thinking about doing all these things and you're like, this sounds like a great idea and I know I can execute it, but I don't feel like doing it. I'm going to chill. So just be mindful of those things, but it is full moon time and we are coming up on the last, I was gonna say Libra, but it is a Libra, the last Mercury retrograde of the year. So like, you know, you can chill, but just be mindful that those energies might pop up. So try not to succumb to the energy of being lazy. If you feel like there's something that you need to work on it, okay? Now, there's another aspect that's happening while we have this full moon that is not necessarily to the full moon, but it is pretty prominent and it's a pretty strong aspect, and we've got Mercury in Libra trine Jupiter in Aquarius, okay? So this brings in good luck and opportunities, and pretty much what we're working on during this lunar cycle, we're going to be manifesting and putting things in to put us to where we get and set up opportunities for ourselves by way of the things that we actually want to see come in. Those dreams that we're turning into reality, those are going to be those dreams we want to see turn into reality, those are going to be popping up in these opportunities that we create for ourselves. I did mention earlier in the video that spirituality is different for everybody. So once this video is over, I would suggest scrubbing back and listening to what I said about the full moon and manifesting and also letting go. All right. So This full moon is going to be in 28 degrees. Breaking that down, you've got 2 and 8. So you've got this energy of harmony, of peace, and of balance, and also the energy of cycles and infinity and karma. Breaking down, going into the number 10, which is 1 amplified by 0. No problem, love. Anytime 0 appears with the number, it amplifies the number. So you've got really the energy of 1 amplified by the number 0. So 0 is 1 is manifestation, new beginnings, new chapters, and also independence and individuality. So as I mentioned earlier, this mutable water moon wrapping up the summer season. We are the summer season where we had the Lion's Gate, where we had the 2 Aquarius full moons, lots of intense, lots of shifting energy, and we're taking this water, this Pisces water, to come in and smooth everything out, to cleanse everything out, to help us gain clarity on the things that we need to do, the work that needs to be done, so that we can be in these new chapters and in these new places and prepared for whatever comes our way, and prepared for the things that we want to do by way of the talents that we are cultivating during this time, okay? This is happening on a 7-day. 7 is the number of divinity, philosophy, and truth. So anytime I have like a lunation, like a new moon or a full moon happen on a 7-day, my message is always like, this is like, you're aligned. Pay very close attention to the things that are happening, the things that are transpiring during this lunar cycle, because they are literally like, they're little pieces and messages from spirit. As I mentioned, with all this Neptunian influence, the veil is a lot thinner than it typically is. So messages, spirit messages, angel messages, number messages, animal messages, but especially by way of your dreams, and probably by way of your interactions with people, by way of your feelings, because we are dealing with Pisces and water and Neptune and intuition, okay? All right, quickly before I roll on out of here, y'all, what I do for rituals, I keep it very simple. I typically do my big rituals around my birthday and my half birthday, but we are kind of past that. However, I do feel like my stones and a lot of my healing stone pieces need to be cleansed. So since this is wrapping up the summer season and it's a water lunation, I am going to make some moon water tonight. And what I'll be doing is writing out my full moon intentions. I'll either use a green or a blue piece of paper, because Pisces is like teal, turquoise, blues, and greens. So I'll use a blue or green piece of paper, or I'll use a blue or green pencil or highlighter or whatever, and I'll write out my full moon intentions. And when you write your full moon intentions, you definitely want to speak in the way of, I release, I let go, I no longer, I cease, I release my cords of attachment, I now have clarity, I've gained illumination. Things that speak to the energy of the full moons, you want to start your intentions off with that, related to all of the energies that I mentioned earlier in this video, okay? So I'll write my intentions, I'll make some moon water. What I am going to do is put the intentions underneath the container that the moon water is in, and I'll sit my moon water outside my door, because my neighbors are cool. They're not going to steal. That's weird. I hope they wouldn't steal my moon water. That'd be very, very strange. So I'm going to set my moon water outside. I'll put my intentions under it. I'm probably going to put some Pisces stones around it. And Pisces stones are aquamarine, I want to say, blue kyanite. I think I wrote them down, did I? Yes, amethyst, aquamarine, bloodstone, blue kyanite, blue lace agate, Ethiopian opal, fluorite, peach moonstone, just to name a few. And I have all of those stones, so I'll put a few of those probably around my intentions. And then tomorrow I will burn my intentions, because that is what I do with my full moon intentions. Read them aloud, ask that they carry on into the universe, up to God's ears, out into whoever, whatever you believe in, however you use your spiritual clauses. Ask that they manifest and are carried up into the universe with the energy of the Pisces full moon, and that they manifest in the time that they need to manifest. And what else do I do? I'm not going to cleanse my cards this cycle. That they don't feel like they need to have any cleansing. But if you feel like you need to cleanse anything, you could definitely do a little smudging. Because it's water, I like to incorporate the elements into my rituals. So you could make a smudge spray with either, some spiritual waters, or you could just make some moon water. And if you have herbs, you can bless your herbs and bless your water, and you can go around your house, around your space, or yourself, and smudge yourself. Spirituality is all about intention. So when it comes to cleansing, it is all about the intention that you put into the things that you are using when you cleanse, okay? And that's really all I got for you guys. So to wrap it up, this Pisces full moon is really us gaining illumination and clarity into the work that needs to be done to make our dreams come true, okay? The people that are going to be the most affected by this full moon are people, obviously, with their moons in Pisces in 28 degrees. People with a lot of Pisces placements in their charts. If you have a lot of 28 degree placements or degree placements within those orbs, you're definitely going to feel this moon. And if you have a lot of mutable energy in your chart as well. And then just to give you a little bit of more insight into how the moon could be affecting you personally, take a look at your chart, and you can pull up your chart and the transits on pretty much any free site that has astrology charts. You're going to plug in your information, then you're going to plug in the date for, you can do it for today, but I'm going to do it for tomorrow at the time that the full moon actually will be happening. And look at where the moon, the current moon, is passing over your natal chart. And you can see, depending on what energies are associated with the houses, the house that's passing over, and the space, I don't know why I can't talk right now, and the energies in your chart, and you can get an idea of how this moon is going to affect you and what it's going to be affecting in your life, okay? Before I go, the videos that I will have linked down in the description box, September tarot forecasts, are all up. They are all on my channel. They're in the September 21 playlist. They're also like my most recent videos. So if you want to watch your tarot forecast for the month, go on and check that out there. We are still in retrograde season, the retrograde cluster, and we are starting a new retrograde at the end of the month. So just go to Google, baby. Google. Free astral natal chart. Mercury retrograde is coming up at the end of the month. I'll be putting up a video in a few days, but I do have a retrograde series playlist that I'll have linked down below in the description box. I'm going to put up a full moon pick a card readings probably within the next couple of hours because I got to run to the store, so that'll be up there shortly. What else do I want y'all to watch? Oh, and I do have a more recent COVID reading up for the fall and winter months. That one is the most recent one in the pandemic or the COVID reading. I forget what I titled it, but it either says COVID or pandemic readings. That's a playlist on my channel. All of the readings are in there that I started last year. And those are all of my shameless plugs. If you guys enjoyed the video, do me a favor and hit the like button, the thumbs up button for me. It does help make my videos more visible on YouTube. If you want to keep up with what we've got going on in astrology and what these current transits mean as far as the energy goes, hit that subscribe button for me so you can keep up with my new content. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop them down in the comment box. Or the comment section. I come on here a few times a week and respond to my comments as long as they're not wild, and I'll respond to you if you really got a question. And that is really it. That's all I got for you. No more shameless plugs. That's all for the Pisces new moon or the Pisces full moon. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will catch y'all next time. Peace.